It's real power.
And that's why, like, everybody's talking about this Mike Tyson thing. I was like, man, they should not be letting this thing happen.
I really hope he doesn't knock Mike Tyson out.
To me,
I'll just be real bummed out to see Mike get KO'd
right,
at 58 years
at
old.
60, basically.
like, what other sport would we let a 58-year-old man compete other than golf?
Right.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, why are we letting this happen?
It's kind of crazy.
Joe Rogan recently warned Mike Tyson and expressed his concerns about seeing him getting knocked out in the ring. He was worried that this fight might become the last fight of Mike Tyson.
Why? How does he feel now? He might have been excited when he said he wanted to do it, but how does he feel now? You got months and months and months of this.
I just want to see something other than those mitts.
Does he dismiss does he wish he didn't say yes to it? How's his health? How's his back? How's his knees?
Joe Rogan expressed this after reports surfaced that Mike Tyson had been knocked out during sparring ahead of his much-anticipated fight with Jake Paul. For months, the boxing community has been buzzing about the clash between the YouTube sensation and the legendary former heavyweight champion.
You know, I think he's like any other young up-and-coming boxer. It's just everybody dismisses him because he's a YouTuber.
For sure. It's easy to dismiss him, but I was there when he knocked out Tyron, and I was like, man, I'm done with this kid. I never wanted to corner another fight in my life, man. I was like, yo, he just knocked my boy flat out on his face, man. I was heartbroken.
While fans are excited about the spectacle, worries surrounding Tyson's physical condition are growing. At 58 years old, Tyson has been dealing with the effects of aging, including a bout of sciatica in early 2024 that left him in a wheelchair due to severe pain. Tyson also faced another setback in July when he had to withdraw from the original fight date because of an ulcer flare-up. With the fight now rescheduled for November 15, 2024, the stakes are higher than ever. Rogan, along with guests Din Thomas, Matt Serra, and John Rallo on JRE MMA Show, discussed the potential risks for Tyson at this stage in his career. He voiced his concern for Tyson's well-being, but also acknowledged the unpredictability of the fight.
At the end of the day, Mike Tyson's a monster, and if he can get that monster to just move in and close the distance, and if he uncorks a boom boom on Jake Paul and watch Jake Paul go into Queer Street, that will be wild. To watch a 58-year-old Mike, that would be best case scenario for the world.
I agree.
For sure.
Worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan reflects on how brief training videos may not be the best way to evaluate Mike Tyson's readiness for a fight. They suggest that watching Tyson spar or hit the heavy bag for multiple rounds would give a much clearer picture of his stamina, balance, and overall ability. The concern is that clips showing a few seconds of work may look impressive, but they don't offer enough insight into how Tyson can perform over a sustained period in real fight conditions.
Watching 30-second clips, what you want to see is him sparring. You want to see him hitting the bag for multiple rounds. You'd want to see, like, let's see 3 rounds hard on the bag. I'm going to see what you could do. I want to see how your feet move. I want to see what it looks like if you're off balance when you're throwing combinations. You look like Tyson.
The biggest fear surrounding the Tyson vs. Paul fight is the possibility of Mike Tyson, a beloved icon, being publicly humiliated or even knocked out by Jake Paul, dubbed the problem child. This unsettling prospect has alarmed many, including Joe Rogan, who discussed it with former UFC fighters Matt Serra, John Rallo, and coach Din Thomas. Rogan admitted during the conversation and said, "I really hope Paul doesn't knock Mike Tyson out. I'll just be real bummed out to see Mike get KO'd at 58 years old." Despite his concern, Rogan also expressed faith in Tyson's skills, noting that his extensive experience in boxing could be the key to stopping Paul. Rogan believed that if Tyson could close the distance and deliver one of his signature knockout punches, the fight could swing in his favor. Rogan added, "Mike also has layers upon layers of attacks that are in his mind. He's forgotten more about boxing than Jake Paul has ever remembered." However, Rogan also understood Tyson's desire to step into the ring again, acknowledging that maybe Tyson wants one more shot at it and that his body might be able to handle another fight. Despite Tyson looking great during his media appearances, Rogan pointed out that looking good on the mitts doesn't necessarily mean Tyson is fully prepared for such a high-stakes bout. Rogan said, "What do you think of Tyson and Jake? I wish he didn't do it. I wish it wasn't a thing where a 58-year-old guy was going to fight a 28-year-old. That said, I fully support his desire to do it. What, is he going to live forever? Maybe he wants one more shot at it. Maybe his body can do one more fight. I don't know. He looks great on the mitts, but that doesn't mean, as much as I know, I can look good on the mitts." Rogan continued by highlighting that mitt work, while often looking sharp, doesn't fully replicate the conditions of a real fight. The trainer meets the fighter halfway during mitt training, and combinations are planned out in advance. Joe Rogan raised the question of whether Tyson can maintain his performance against a moving opponent who fights back, emphasizing the difference between controlled training and the unpredictable nature of a live fight.
Remember There's some videos of Tyson hitting the bag when he was like 19 years old. And it's like, ba-da-dum. It's crazy. You watch like the speed and the see if you can find that. Mike Tyson hitting the heavy bag when he's young. Terrifying. That to me, a bag is different than mitts. Mitts, guys are meeting you halfway. You know, you've got a combination worked out. Okay, I want you to go left, right, left to the body, right overhand. Pop, 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 pop. Okay, do it again. Pop, 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 pop. It kind of can look real good.
Yeah.
But can you do that with a guy who's moving? Can you spar? Like, would they bring in a world-class heavyweight? Can you do that? Like, what? How do you move? How are your knees? How's your back? Like, can you sustain that? Can you sustain those kind of explosions? Or is this just a gimmick?
Rogan's point was clear. While Tyson may look impressive in controlled environments, the real question is whether he can still handle the physical demands of a live, high-level fight. The highly anticipated fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul has generated intense buzz due to its unusual pairing, a 58-year-old boxing legend facing off against a 27-year-old YouTuber turned boxer. Initially set for July 20th, 2024, the bout has been postponed due to concerns about Tyson's health. The upcoming fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul has stirred significant controversy, with many in the boxing community questioning whether it should even take place. One of the sport's legends, Larry Holmes, who fought Tyson in 1988 and lost by TKO in the 4th round, shared his opinion on the match. During an interview, Holmes made a lighthearted prediction, saying, "I'll bet a quarter on Mike Tyson." Jake Paul, at 27 years old, is coming off a win against former UFC fighter Mike Perry. Meanwhile, Team Tyson has been ramping up the tension with pointed comments directed at Paul. In one promotional video, someone from Tyson's camp emphasized their strategy. He said, "We're not looking to throw just one bomb. We want to throw missile after missile." One of Tyson's trainers confidently stated that if the fight were held immediately, Jake Paul would have no chance, remarking, "If the fight were today, Jake Paul would be done." He added, "He throws missiles, not just one bomb. The bombs, they come one after another." However, concerns about Tyson's health have also surfaced. Recently, Tyson himself admitted, "It's hard to walk right now, but 2 months from now I'm going to be perfect. The fight is won in the gym." Despite the physical challenges, Tyson remained confident, stating he would be ready when the time comes. Tyson's training regimen has also raised eyebrows. On Jimmy Kimmel's show, he boasted about his daily training routine. "I am training extremely hard. I do 6 hours a day. I start at 11 a.m. and might leave the gym at 5 p.m. When Kimmel humorously asked if there was a lunch break in between, Tyson confirmed there was, leaving the host astonished by his dedication. During a flight from Los Angeles to Miami, Tyson suffered an ulcer flare-up that required immediate medical attention, delaying the fight. This health scare, coupled with Tyson's age, has raised questions about his ability to perform at such a high level. Despite these concerns, Tyson has reassured fans, claiming to feel stronger than ever and ready to return to full training before the new fight date on November 15, 2024. Carl Fruck strongly criticized Jake Paul's decision to fight Mike Tyson in an official boxing match. Fruck, a former world champion, emphasized that Tyson is an iconic figure in the sport, often known as the baddest man on the planet.
But Jake Paul is actually officially taking on Iron Mike Tyson. He used to be the baddest man on the planet. You all know Mike Tyson. You know what he is. He's an icon in the professional boxing world. And Jake Paul's not even a pro boxer. So when I heard this fight was happening, I was absolutely disgusted, and I think it's so bad for boxing.
He expressed frustration that Jake Paul, whom Fruck does not regard as a legitimate professional boxer, is stepping into the ring with someone of Tyson's stature. Fruck, who values the legacy of boxing, voiced his concern that this fight could harm the sport's reputation. He said, "Mike Tyson is just too old, so Jake Paul, you are an absolute shit. I've seen you fight. I've watched you lose against Tommy Fury. What a crap fight that was. I've never seen anything so crap in my life. Why are you still gloving up and lacing up the boots and calling yourself a professional boxer? You're a performing clown. You're a embarrassment, and you should be ashamed of yourself." The history between these two fighters is quite interesting. Jake Paul, known for calling out major names in combat sports, issued a challenge to Tyson, leading to this match. While many fans are excited about the spectacle, there is also skepticism about the age gap and Tyson's long hiatus from boxing, with his last official fight being in 2020 against Roy Jones Jr. Despite these concerns, Tyson, often referred to as the baddest man on the planet, continues to draw attention with his ferocious training videos, showcasing that his power and speed are still impressive for his age. Eddie Hearn has voiced his concerns over the headline bout between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, describing it as dangerous, irresponsible, and disrespectful to boxing. At 58 years old, Tyson has not fought fought professionally since 2005, while Jake Paul, 27, has gained attention by winning 10 of his 11 professional boxing matches. Hearn, who plans to attend the undercard event to support Katie Taylor in her rematch against Amanda Serrano, indicated he would leave before the main event. He explained, "The reality is that 20 years ago, when Mike Tyson retired from the sport, he was shot, completely finished. It was actually sad to watch then, 20 years ago." Hearn acknowledged Tyson's achievements, including becoming the youngest heavyweight champion at 20 and holding the WBA, WBC, and IBF titles simultaneously. However, despite Tyson's exhibition against Roy Jones Jr. in 2020, Hearn believes this comeback could end poorly. "I'm in awe of him. He's one of my favorite ever fighters. But he's a 58-year-old man," Hearn said. He expressed concerns about Tyson's ability to compete at this age, stating, "You only need to speak to him and look at him to know this guy should not be in a ring again." Jake Paul, 31 years younger than Tyson, has mainly fought former UFC fighters, with his only loss coming to Tommy Fury in 2023. Paul has defended his decision to fight Tyson, citing his own experience as a factor that levels the playing field. However, Hearn, who has been in a legal dispute with Paul after a defamation lawsuit filed in 2022, continues to oppose the match. Hearn commented, "If I was Jake Paul, I'd just feel a little bit embarrassed. This is dangerous, irresponsible, and, in my opinion, disrespectful to the sport of boxing." The fight, originally scheduled for July 20th, was postponed due to Tyson suffering an ulcer flare-up. Hearn added, "That was the moment they should have realized that this was actually a bad idea. Sometimes the green-eyed monster can make you some bad decisions, and I think this is one of them." At a recent press conference meant to build excitement for the fight, Mike Tyson and Jake Paul exchanged verbal jabs. Jake Paul confidently dismissed any notion of fear, emphasizing that his entire life had led him to this moment. He explained that he had envisioned and pursued this fight for years, believing it to be his destiny. Promising the performance of a lifetime on November 15th, Paul was convinced that everything would align for this defining moment in his career.
I'm not scared. Sorry, I'm not scared of shit. No, not at all. Not at all. I was born for this. I was born for this moment. The universe told me this was going to happen. You can ask Mike. I did ayahuasca, called him up and said, "We're going to fight on the biggest stage possible. It's destiny." And now here we are, years later, actually making it happen. I was made for this moment, born to do this, and I'm going to put on the performance of a lifetime on November 15th, and the universe will align for all of its glory and good for God.
Tyson, however, mocked Paul's bravado, advising him to stay sharp and in shape if he hoped to compete against him. This remark triggered Jake Paul, who quickly referenced Tyson's earlier desire to reduce the number of rounds in the fight. Paul used this opportunity to take a jab at Tyson's fitness, intensifying the tension between them.
Be in shape, be in good shape, because your health depends on it.
You're the one that wanted 8 2-minute rounds. You want to make it 10 threes? Don't talk to me about shape. Don't talk to me about shape.
Stay in shape, you all right?
You want 10 threes?
Okay.
You want 10 threes?
Let's go. Be careful.
You want 10 threes? See, that's the thing. That's the thing is everyone's all talk. I'll do whatever, wherever, whenever. I don't give a fuck. So it's all talk. Put it on the line. I'm stating facts. He's shit talking.
Paul escalated the trash talk by declaring that the fight would be Mike Tyson's funeral in the ring. Although he expressed respect for Tyson's legacy, his comments hinted at fierce determination and the personal stakes riding on this bout. Paul seemed to distance himself from any friendly sentiments toward Tyson, signaling that this fight was more than just a professional encounter for him.
But what happens when I put this man to sleep? This is a joke. He's saying that it's going to be my funeral. He's saying it's going to be my wake. He's going to kill Jake Paul, all of these things. And that's why I love Mike, I respect him, but we're not friends anymore. Until November 15th, I'm knocking this out, and we're going to see who's dead. We will see who's dead. We will see who's dead, Mike. We will. We will.
Jake Paul also playfully boasted about orchestrating the fight, suggesting that he had done Tyson a favor by bringing the opportunity to him. While dismissive, he acknowledged Tyson's prowess in the ring, calling him vicious and a killer. Paul remarked, "I promise you that I brought this deal to this old-ass mother. We signed the contract with Netflix and I brought him the deal, so you're welcome, my son. I'm going to discipline you like a son." He amazed me. He continued praising the intensity and the terrifying aura of Mike Tyson, which he held around him for years. He added, "He's vicious. He's a killer. I know all of these things. He has one-punch knockout power. He's the greatest heavyweight of all time, but I will prove all the haters wrong on November 15th, all these YouTuber hillbillies wrong, and that's what I've always done. In response to Tyson's concerns about his abilities, Jake Paul took a mocking tone, trivializing Tyson's health issues and delay of the fight. Paul downplayed Tyson's stature as a former heavyweight champion, leading to controversy among fans who saw his comments as disrespectful. In contrast, Tyson maintained an unusually calm demeanor, buoyed by strong public support throughout the press event.
You had to go on your little menopause break and postpone the fight, so yeah. What about that, dog? I was ready before. You needed a little break. Your tummy hurt? Your tummy hurts still?
I feel a lot better now.
Jake Paul, with a record of 9-1 and 6 KOs, has been eager to face legitimate boxers in order to build his credibility for a future world title shot. Facing Tyson, a legend in the sport, presents a unique challenge for Paul. Tyson, now 58, last fought professionally in 2005 but drew attention with an exhibition match against Roy Jones Jr. in 2020, demonstrating that he can still capture the crowd's attention. Paul, undeterred by the magnitude of his opponent, declared his readiness to fight wherever, whenever, dismissing much of the pre-fight build-up as mere hype. He questioned whether Tyson's social media presence and Instagram training clips truly reflected his current abilities. Despite Tyson's past dominance, Paul remained skeptical of whether the boxing icon still possesses the formidable skills he once had.
Everyone's all talk. I'll do whatever, wherever, whenever. I don't give a so it's all talk. Put it on the line. I'm stating facts. He's talking. I think he's a mitt warrior. The Instagram videos are cute, but we'll see what happens in the ring on November 15th at the end of the day.
Tyson's illustrious career, including holding the WBC heavyweight title and becoming the youngest heavyweight champion in history, is part of why this matchup is so intriguing. However, as the fight approaches, health checks and concerns about his physical condition remain at the forefront. Netflix, which is set to broadcast the fight, has also emphasized the importance of ensuring both fighters are fully prepared, with Tyson undergoing more rigorous health checks than usual due to his age and past health issues. While Jake Paul is confident and has embraced the challenge of fighting a boxing icon, Tyson's team has expressed caution, ensuring that Tyson's health comes first. Despite the delay, the fight remains one of the most talked about events in boxing for 2024. Gareth Davies, a well-known sports journalist, expressed both admiration and concern for Mike Tyson as he prepares to face Jake Paul. Davies also voiced concerns regarding Tyson's return to the ring, especially at his advanced age and given the physically demanding nature of boxing. He emphasized the risks of Tyson facing a much younger opponent like Jake Paul, who may be seeking a dramatic victory to enhance his own legacy.
The great Mike Tyson, one of the greatest boxers in history, one of the most impactful professional fighters we've ever seen, a pugilist extraordinaire, a man who some would say, given what he had growing up, it's amazing that he's here in his late 50s. He's a wonderful human being. I'm sure you've met him a few times. I've had some deep conversations with him over the time, and more recently as well in Saudi. And he's a very special human being. So just don't want to see him get hurt. It's a safety concern more than anything else. Because Jake Paul will want a dramatic visual knockout, and it really creates legacy for him.
Davies suggested that financial motivation could be a major factor in Tyson's return, speculating that the large payout might be intended to support his family. He commented, "It's a shame that he's having to box because obviously he's going to get several million for it, going to be paid very, very well, and that's what this is all about." Gareth Davies expressed his sympathy for Mike Tyson's financial situation, speculating that Tyson's decision to return to the ring might be driven by the need to support his family. Davies acknowledged that it's unfortunate Tyson doesn't have vast amounts of wealth but believes Tyson has good intentions behind his return to boxing. He said, "It's a shame he hasn't got huge amounts of money, but I'm sure he's doing it for good reasons for himself, to help members of his family or to help his children." Furthermore, Davies highlighted the significant size difference between Tyson and Paul during a recent public appearance, noting the potential physical disadvantage Tyson may face. He remarked that during a playful exchange, Tyson's punches seemed to have little effect on Paul, who appeared to easily handle Tyson's Tyson's attempts. Davies said, "When I saw them together and I saw the size of Jake Paul compared to Mike Tyson yesterday, I know they were digging around and playing when Tyson hit him. His punch seemed to bounce off him and Jake Paul seemed to push Mike and move him really easily." Davies concluded by expressing concern for Tyson's ability to compete effectively, especially given the weight difference and Tyson's smaller size in his later years. While he appreciated Tyson's confidence and fighting spirit, he recognized that Tyson would need to land a significant punch early to have a chance. He added, "I think there's a huge weight differential. Mike's not a big guy anymore. I love what he's saying, which is, you wait till I hit you, wait till I find that punch. He's got to find that punch early. Yes, I am concerned, and yes, I probably will go." Aside from the main event, the fight card will also feature other high-profile matchups, such as Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano for the undisputed super lightweight championship, and a WBC welterweight title clash between Mario Barrios and Abel Ramos. The fight has caught the attention of the entire boxing world, especially as the rivalry between Tyson and Paul intensifies. Could this fight be more dangerous for Tyson than anticipated, given the significant weight and age differences? What do you think? Can Tyson defy the odds, or is this fight too much of a risk? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more fight breakdowns and updates.